Hello, you're welcome to a segment we have christened the Nigerian Perspective. Nigeria is the single most important country on this continent. It is the most populous, it has the greatest diversity, and very soon it will overtake South Africa to be the most buoyant economy on the continent. Nigeria is the largest conglomeration of black people on earth. So Nigeria is more than a country. It's like an assemblage or an assembling point for a whole race. And there's a very good friend of mine. We met during a very important program at Blue Crest University here in Accra. At that time, he was the president of NANS GH. Yeah. And I'm sure he will get the opportunity to explain what that acronym stands for. His Excellency, the President, Kayode Abubakar.
It's my pleasure being here. Thank you, brother.
Good to see you, sir. It's been a while.
Yes, it's been a while.
How has the scorching sun in Ghana been treated you?
Well, I'm not Ghanaian.
How have you been, Mr. President?
Doing good, thank God.
For many people, Ramsey Noah, Jim I, Genevieve Nnaji, not even going to Nnamdi Azikiwe. You have to be in academia to know Nnamdi Azikiwe. Nollywood brought Nigeria to us in Ghana. Yeah. What are the dynamics in Nigeria, first of all, in terms of ethnicity or tribe?
Yeah. First, the NANS GH, let me start from there.
Okay.
That is NANS is the equivalent of NUCS in Nigeria. And Ghana chapter is the largest diaspora chapter of NANS, because in Ghana we have the largest conglomerate of Nigerian students outside Nigeria.
Wow.
Tens of thousands of them, spread across over 45 schools around the country. And
it's not only in Africa that we are the largest, but in the whole world.
Yeah.
So there are more Nigerian students in Ghana than there are Nigerian students in any part of
the world. Yes.
Isn't that impressive?
Outside of Nigeria, Ghana has the largest, population of Nigerian students in the diaspora.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So NANS GH is the Ghana chapter of NANS, the umbrella body of Nigerian students across. But when we met then, I was the national president.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah. So it's my pleasure.
And NANS stands for what?
National Association of Nigerian Students. Ghana chapter.
Okay, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. So if it is in China, it will be
NANS China.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, Mr. President, we'll find a day to discuss student activism.
Yeah, of course.
Because
their current leadership will bring them by God's grace. Yeah.
Yes, Mr. President, we see fewer and fewer Ghanaian, Nigerian students in hostels now.
Nowadays, yes.
Some have said there has been a little decrease in the inflow.
Indeed.
What has attributed to that?
There are a lot of factors to that. One, majorly is economic reasons. Due to the devaluation of the Naira a couple of years ago, the Naira lost its value. In fact, 3 years ago when I was president, it was terrible. In fact, we had a situation whereby Naira was selling at almost 500 Naira to a dollar. Wow. Jumped from 157 Naira to a dollar within a space of 6 months. So we have situations whereby students who were being charged $1,500 in Ghana, and you were using about 160,000 to buy that amount of dollar, now started using about 500,000 Naira to buy it. That is almost 300%. Wow. So meanwhile, the source of income back home has not changed, the school fees in Ghana has not changed, but now you need like 3 times more Naira to buy the same amount of dollar, which really put a lot of people into trouble. So people
are handling we are seeing fewer numbers. Would you also say that the Boko Haram situation is better? So the inflow from Maiduguri in Borno State has also gone down?
No, I wouldn't tie it to the influx of Nigerian students to Ghana. The major reason for the influx of Nigerian students in Ghana has nothing to do with national security. It is basically due to the situation about the education sector in Nigeria. Not only on qualitative, but also on quantitative. In terms of, when you look at the numbers, as you said, Nigeria is the largest country in Africa, the largest black nation in the world. And our university system cannot really accommodate all the university-ready applicants per year. In fact, by records, as a few months ago, we had over 1 million university-ready applicants per year. Our universities can only accommodate a little over 500,000 per year. Mind you, we had shortfalls from last year joining this year alone. So, and not, when you look at the social strata of Nigeria, the Nigerian society, not every family will be able to afford Western education, like going to US, Canada, America, or Australia. So Ghana, because of the cultural link and the fact that it is easy for Nigerian parents to release a teenager to Ghana than the West. So that's why Ghana has always been the hotspot for Nigerian students coming to study here.
Mr. President, you are Kayode. Kayode sounds Yoruba.
Yoruba, yes.
So you are from the southwest?
Yeah.
Yes. What are the dynamics for the average Ghanaian? Because people don't even understand Nigeria is a federal state.
Nigeria is like a confederation of nations, because Yoruba alone is a nation. It's almost 50 million people. And you have the Igbos as well, we have the Hausa, we have the Fulanis, we say good morning in over 250 ways in Nigeria. Nigeria is a very, very diverse country. In fact, it's a confederation of several nations, of group of people, big tribes and ethnicity. So, for instance, we in the West were Yorubas, and then the East majorly Igbos, the North majorly, it's diverse. You can't even just say Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo. That is just the major ethnic group. We have the Ijaws, we have the Sekiris, we have the South, a lot of tribal ethnic groups in the southern of Nigeria, and then in the north. Some people even think maybe the northern Nigeria is predominantly Hausa Fulani. No, we have northern Nigeria is so diverse that we have over 100 ethnic groups in the northern part of Nigeria. But because of the strong the Hausa language that they all speak, people think, okay, everybody from the northern Nigeria is Hausa Fulani. And because Islam is predominant in the northern Nigeria, about 90% of the northern part of Nigeria are practicing Islam as a religion. So because of the unity, the religion that united them, and then the Hausa language. Not all those the Hausa speakers are Hausa by tribe. For instance, the current president. The current president, now some people know, if you ask some ordinary Nigerian, will say, okay, he's Hausa. No, he's actually Fulani.
Wow.
You understand now? So, but because of the Hausa language that is so predominant there, we all think that it's a very diverse country. Huge.
Mr. President, before 1999, when Olusegun Obasanjo of your stock, of the Yoruba stock, became a duly elected president, we saw Yakubu Gowon, we saw IBB, Ibrahim Babangida, Buhari, at that time, Sani Abacha. When you look at the tapestry of heads of state, they normally are of the Hausa extraction. Is it that the Hausas are the most influential or they command the largest numbers?
No. You see, this is also one area about education. I come from a very political active family, and I followed history well. In fact, if you list those who have ruled Nigeria, who have governed Nigeria, I don't want to use the word rule, that is a military term, governed Nigeria from independence till date. I'm going to count them, and I'm going to tell you their ethnicity. At independence, we had a ceremonial president who is Igbo, Nnamdi Azikiwe. And we have Alhaji Abubakar Tafawa Balewa. Alhaji Tafawa Balewa is not actually Hausa or Fulani. He's from a minority ethnic group in Bauchi. In fact, the name of that place is Tafawa. So some of them are named by the name of their hometown, their origin. Now, that's the First Republic. Now, after the coup, the first coup in 1966, we had Colonel Aguiyi-Ironsi. Aguiyi-Ironsi is Igbo. After Aguiyi-Ironsi, we had the Civil War, and then General Yakubu Gowon came in when Aguiyi-Ironsi was assassinated. And
that was the Biafra War.
That's the Biafra War, 67, 71. Now, when General Gowon came on board, General Gowon is also a minority Christian from the north, not Hausa Fulani. Now, he became president and one of the longest serving head of state we had in Nigeria. He was head of state from that period of the Civil War, all through the Civil War era, and led us out of the war, even up to 1977. He was deposed by another coup led by General Murtala Mohammed and General Obasanjo as the deputy in command. Now, Yakubu Gowon is a minority tribe, ethnic group. I can't remember the exact ethnic group now, but it's a minority tribe from the north. Then we have Murtala Mohammed. Murtala Mohammed is probably the only Hausa person that has governed Nigeria. Now, after General Murtala Mohammed, we have General Olusegun Obasanjo 1977 to 79, is Yoruba, and he conducted the first democratic election that led to Shehu Shagari. Now, Shehu Shagari is Fulani. After Shehu Shagari's administration, we had another Fulani again in the person of General Muhammadu Buhari, the military Buhari, in 83 through to 85, before he was deposed by another coup led by General Ibrahim Babangida. General Ibrahim Babangida is Nupe.
Okay.
Nupe tribe. They are mostly around the north-central, northwestern geopolitical zone of Nigeria. which you know, there is another minority tribe, not so huge, but around Adamawa, Niger, Kwara, several local governments around those areas. This is General Babangida for you. Now Babangida led till 1993, and after the Abiola, you know, mandate was truncated and then election annulled, and then we had another coup. We had a transition government actually. Okay. Transition government that took over from General Babangida was led by another Yoruba person, Chief Ernest Shoneko is Yoruba. Then after the transition government of 1993 was toppled by the Chief of Army Staff, General Sani Abacha, who later became the president after the coup and toppled the transition government. General Sani Abacha is also, what's this tribe from Borno? I've forgotten that ethnic group right now. They are from the northeast going to Chad. Wow. So it's neither Hausa nor Fulani. So he grew up in Kano, but he's actually from Kanuri tribe. Yes, I remember. General Sani Abacha is actually Kanuri.
Oh, Kanuri, just like the leader of Shekau?
Yeah, that is actually where that is his origin. But he grew up in Kano, which is Hausa Fulani. It's an Hausa community ruled by the Fulani oligarchy, Fulani, what do you call it, monarchy. You know, so that is that. And after General Sani Abacha, he died in office, unfortunately. May God rest his soul. And then we had General Abdulsalami Abubakar, another Nupe from the same state with IBB. Now, General Abdulsalami Abubakar took over from the death of General Sani Abacha and conducted another election that brought in General Obasanjo, another Yoruba person. Now, after General Obasanjo, we had another Fulani again in the person of Umaru Yar'Adua.
Yar'Adua was Fulani.
Fulani, also from the same place where Buhari is from, Katsina.
I see.
So, after Jonathan is an ethnic Ijo from the southern Nigeria.
From Bayelsa.
From Bayelsa, from Ogbia clan of the Ijo people, Ijo nation, they call them, in the south of Nigeria.
Interesting.
Then after Jonathan, we had another Fulani. So in our history, so far, from independence to date, we have only one Hausa person in General Rabat Mohammed, who is actually ethnic Hausa person. So the northern Nigeria, the whole of Nigeria generally is a very diverse nation, and sometimes the media, because of the way the British actually created this Hausa Fulani, Hausa Fulani is not a single tribe. Hausa is an ethnic group.
Wow.
Fulani is an ethnic group, the nomadic Fulani and co. And then we have the Yorubas, the Igbos, the major tribe in Nigeria. But because of the way the British had their politics pre-independence era, they, you know, merged Hausa with Fulani together. Fulani is also a minority tribe, even less than the Ijaw people in Nigeria.
Oh, I see.
Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo are the largest tribe. But because of the creation of the British, we had everybody saying Hausa Fulani, Hausa Fulani, Hausa Fulani. They are not the same tribe. They are different. The traditional language of the Fulani people is Fulfulde. That is what the president speaks. That is what Buhari, Umaru Yar'Adua, Shehu Shagari belongs.
That's beautiful, Mr. President. So in terms of numerical strength, which of the three major ethnic groups commands the numbers?
Yeah, if we're to separate Hausa Fulani from each other, the Yorubas has the largest population in Nigeria, led second by the Igbo and Hausa people. Yes. Then we have the Ijaw. In fact, Ijaw people are actually more than the Fulani population.
Really?
Yes.
They are not too known. We don't know them. Are they from Rivers State?
Ijaw,
Rivers is very big.
Yeah, Ijaw, you know, in fact, in my state of Ondo, we have two local governments who are Ijaws. Ijaw is in Ondo, Delta, Bayelsa, Rivers, and Edo state of Nigeria. So I think by population, they are over 10 million. They are over 10 million in numbers. And Fulani, by statistically, they are less than 10 million, between 8 and 10 million. So which means that even we're removing, if we're to deconstruct the British creation of Hausa Fulani put together, we're going to have Fulani lesser than the Ijaw nation. But because of the way the British had the Hausa Fulani joined together, then we have the Hausa Fulani as the largest population. But if we deconstruct it realistically and separate the Fulani from the Hausa traditional ethnic group, then we'll have the Yoruba as the largest ethnic group. Even then we have Igbo. I don't know which one is larger between the traditional Hausa people and the Igbo. Some of the other secret about the Hausa communities in northern Nigeria is that the ruling house are Fulanis. They were conquered by the Usman Danfodio conquest. Now, some of those Hausa communities are being ruled by a Fulani caliphate, the Fulani royals. For instance, towns like Kano. Kano is not a Fulani town. It's a traditional Hausa town. City now. It has become a huge metropolitan with over 6 emirates, in Kano alone. Now, Kano is being ruled by the Fulani royals, but Kano, by history, traditionally Hausa community. So with the British setup, we have the Hausa Fulani as the largest population. But if we deconstruct realistically, Yorubas are more.
So the Sokoto Sultanate too is also
another Fulani.
Another Fulani.
Yes.
How
and
are
that's the spiritual head of the caliphate in Nigeria.
How come the Fulani are small in number but so influential?
Yes, it is. If you follow history, Islam, I think they brought Islam to northern Nigeria.
Wow.
Through the Usman Danfodio. You need to read about Usman Danfodio's conquest.
He's in our box.
Yes. And through the conquest of Usman Danfodio, he was able to clear those regions all through from the Sahel of Africa down towards even the north central Nigeria. In fact, conquered some part of the Yoruba territory as well.
Wow.
Today, Kwara State, Ilorin, to be precise, is a Yoruba town, but under Fulani royalty. Royals. Wow. So the conquest was stopped at that base. So they conquered not only some Hausa communities, even some Yoruba towns were conquered as well. Wow. So now we have emirate, even in Ilorin, which is traditionally a Yoruba city.
And it's a Muslim,
Of course, emirate. Islam, of course, Muslim. Yes, it's an emirate and mostly, predominantly Muslim.
Mr. President, I think the perspective you've shared opens a whole Pandora's box.
A lot of perspective, yeah.
Of what Nigerian perspective this segment will involve. And we will have His Excellency, Mr. President, and Kayode Abubakar as our regular resource person in that area. So, sir, your final words so that we close this episode and then prepare for the next one.
All right, yeah, so Nigeria is a great country.
Yes, I know. People think every Nigerian student here is a Yahoo boy.
No,
we'll discuss that. Nigerians are fraudsters.
We're going to talk about all that.
Yeah, we'll talk about
from heading this particular segment, Nigeria is a great nation. It's a country. We have over 250 ethnic groups. We have English as, of course, lingua franca, but we say good morning in over 250 ways every day. That's how I put it. So culture, we embrace our religion. Islam predominantly is Muslim and more. Then we have Christianity and we have traditional religion. Those are the 3 religions recognized by our constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
His Excellency, former President for National Association of Nigerian Students, Ghana chapter, Kayode Abubakar. Isn't he a breath of fresh air to listen to? We hope to have him quite often.
Thank you so
much.
So
we come your way again. Thank you so much,
My pleasure,
Mr. President.
Thank you so much for having me.
Take care. Bye-bye.